I'm feeling high, high.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Divine Doodles by LaDon. I am LaDon. Thank you so much for joining me today. All of my videos are based on my artwork and my doodles, and I use them in the same way that some people use oracle or tarot cards. I pick one doodle per week to share the divine message, inspiration, and healing that was channeled through me during the creation process. My intention for this channel is that you receive empowerment, guidance, insight, and healing that helps you to raise your vibration, break destructive cycles, and transform your life in beautiful and amazing ways. So, with all of that being said, let's get started with this week's message. This week's doodle was created during a time when I was going through a very emotional time in my life. I was doing a lot of inner child work, and for those of you who have ever done any inner child healing, you know what I mean. It can get pretty emotional because you're remembering and revisiting things that in some cases have been suppressed for years, and that can be pretty rough. So every evening I would sit at my desk and I would journal. Then after journaling, some evenings I would doodle. Doodling usually puts me in a more positive state. And after doing all of that emotional work, there were some nights that I needed to raise my vibration. And that's what I would do. And after 2 or 3 weeks of doing this consistently, this is the result. There's so many messages in this doodle. So many, so many. However, I'm only going to share 3 messages on this video. And perhaps maybe this particular doodle might come up again in one of my other videos. I highly recommend that you take a moment to ask Spirit what message this doodle has for you specifically, because there may be something that you hear or receive that I don't mention in this video. And just a quick story that I want to share. I was recently guided to share this doodle with a young lady who was going through a very emotional situation. And she later told me that as she was looking at this picture, she actually saw her first name in one of the scribbles. And she received a message and she received a profound healing for the situation that she was dealing with. And she received guidance. So please trust your own spirit and know that there is healing available for you. One of the things that I noticed right away about this picture is the face of the child looking forward. And then there's another face on the other side that seems to be the adult version of that child. And the words that I hear are integration, wholeness, unity. You may want to look those words up and read the definition. Although I know that you know what the definition is, sometimes reading the definition will trigger something within you and you'll just receive a message just by reading the definition of a word. But those are the words that are messages for some of you. Some of you listening to this message may have recently gone through some inner child healing work. And the message for you is that you're coming into a place of balance. You're coming into a place of wholeness. You're integrating your the adult version of yourself with the child version of yourself, the healed child, and you're becoming one. You're becoming whole. Also, I keep hearing the word purity and returning to a place of innocence, that your innocence is being restored. Some of you may have gone through some sexual trauma, some sexual abuse where your innocence was stolen and violated. And the message for you is that is being restored. For others of you, you may not have gone through any sexual trauma, but your innocence was stolen in other ways. Maybe you had to grow up really, really quickly. Maybe you had to act like an adult and you never got an opportunity to really be a kid. Maybe you had to get a job when you were really, really young and pay bills and watch your siblings or whatever the case may be. Maybe you were the parent. Maybe you had a parent who had addictions or some habits that caused them to place a lot of responsibilities on you. However your innocence was stolen from you or however your innocence was violated, and it looks different for all of us, your message is that you are headed in the direction of restoration. If you would look at the face of this child in this picture, that's a face of freedom. That's a face of release. That's a face of wholeness. That's a face of someone who finally knows what they want, finally knows who they are. That is a look of confidence. It's a look of security and reassurance. And that's where you're headed. That's where you're headed if you do the work. And for those of you who are doing the work, and for those of you who have done the work, that is where you are. That is where you are being guided to this place of restoration and returning to innocence. One more thing that I want to say about protecting purity and protecting your innocence is for those of you who have children of your own, be mindful that you're allowing them to be expressive and to express themselves in their childlike innocence, in their childlike purity. Sometimes we we can expect a child to be an adult when they're a child, and they're supposed to be able to be a child and to be a child safely, and to that's where our power lies, in our innocence, in our purity, in that creative energy, in our imagination. So just be a little bit more mindful of your child's innocence and their purity and their imagination, and just make sure that you're not breaking their spirit or expecting them to be an adult too soon, if that makes sense. That is not going to be for everybody, but for those of you who that message is for, you'll know. All right, so another message for another group of you. This is a message, and the words that I'm hearing for this is freedom, confidence, new perspective, clarity. You're being your whole perspective is being shifted and raised. So you're beginning to see things from a much higher perspective because this integration has taken place within you. Like you're finally free, you're finally healed from those that heaviness of your childhood. Some of you had some very, very heavy childhoods, some very, very heavy teenage years, some very, very heavy young adult years, and you're finally being freed from that. That weight has been lifted off of your shoulders, and you're soaring, kind of like in this picture. This child is soaring, in the clouds, just seemingly without a care in the world, and you're being brought to that place. Some of you are being guided to that place now, and some of you are already in that place. You already feel the shift in the energy, and the message for you is to enjoy this moment. Enjoy it. Look at the view, from up from this higher perspective, kind of like you're in airplane and you look at the view from up there, it's amazing. It's beautiful. And it's like in the spirit realm, you're so high above the clouds. And spirit is wanting you to enjoy that moment, enjoy this moment, enjoy the energy of this moment. You're free. And a lot of us, when we're freed, sometimes we can still bring that mentality of I'm waiting for the other shoe to drop, or I'm waiting for something horrible to happen because I'm so accustomed to that being my reality. But spirit is saying to you, no, you're in a whole nother dimension now. You're starting a whole new cycle. There's not a shoe that's going to drop. You are where you are, and this is going to be your new normal from this higher perspective, from this place of freedom, from this place of confidence and clarity. Embrace it, because this is the you, the version of you that's whole. This is the version of you that's healed. So everything else that happens in your life will be from this new foundation. So the last thing that I want to share about this picture is I keep being drawn to the clouds. There are one, two, three, four, five clouds in this picture. And five is a very, very important number. It's the number of change. It's the number of transformation. And for some of you, there's something that you've been waiting on. There's something that you've been trying to manifest. And I'm hearing five. So it could be 5 days. It could be 5 months. I'm not feeling that it's 5 years, but whatever it is that you have been trying to manifest, and this is not for everybody, but it's for a group of you. Whatever it is that you've been trying to manifest for years, is going to manifest within 5 months, or for some of you, 5 days. Also, another thing that I'm hearing concerning five is some of you have been doing healing work for 5 years. Some of you have been on this healing journey for 5 years, and you're wondering, it seems like you're not getting anywhere. It seems like you're still repeating the same cycles. It seems like you're not manifesting your desires. But I'm hearing that you're the ones who within 5 days, you'll see the manifestation. Like I said, this is not for everybody, but this is a message for a particular group of you who will be listening to this message, or in the future, or who is listening to this message right now. All right. Transformation and change is a huge message that the number five brings. So a lot of you are, if you're going through a tough time right now, if there has been an upheaval of your life right now, know that that's usually the prerequisite to a huge transformation in your life, for good, a positive transformation. So you may be feeling like a little bit unsettled, or you may be feeling a little bit of fear. Maybe you just recently moved. Maybe you just recently changed jobs and you're feeling very unsettled. Or maybe something bigger than that happened. Maybe you just went through a divorce, or maybe you lost a loved one, or whatever the upheaval was. Just know that often before a huge transformation, there comes a upheaval that may seem very unpleasant. So if you're in that place, know that that's the prerequisite to what you've asked for, to what your soul is desiring, for the experience that you have been praying for. Sometimes it looks like a death, but really every death leads to rebirth. Every time. Every time there's a death in the spirit realm, or in your situation, or in your circumstances, there's something else that's trying to be born. So just know that your transformation is here. You're being transformed. What you have prayed for and what you have asked for is happening. And sometimes the picture that I'm seeing in my head is, you know how sometimes where you have a room in your house that just is filled with clutter. And just imagine a room that's extremely cluttered and it has stuff everywhere on the floor. Maybe you're cleaning out your closet and you just pulled everything out of your closet and there's stuff everywhere. And in the midst of that, you may look at it and say, oh my God, this is a mess. I will never get this room to be organized. But if you just keep working, if you just keep throwing things away, if you just keep putting things in the shelf and folding clothes and put them in the drawers, next thing you know, you look around and that room is clean and organized and beautiful. And it's the same way with our lives. Sometimes we will look up and it seems like we're in a mess, but if we continue to move, if we continue to move forward, if we continue to do the work that needs to be done, we'll find ourselves in a more beautiful surrounding and in a much beautiful state. And I hope that makes sense. So for some of you, that's the message. You are in the midst of transformation, in the midst of change, and don't give up. Don't give up because you're so close. You're so close to experiencing something that you've never experienced before. Okay? All right. So I hope that I've said something that has brought inspiration, clarity, insight, empowerment, healing. Truly the true healing is in the doodle itself. And like I said, please look at this doodle, ask spirit to give you a message, and ask spirit what the message for you is. If you didn't hear anything that I said that resonated with you, there is still a message for you. And I would love to do a brief healing session for those of you who are open to it. I would like for you to just take a few minutes and just look at this doodle, ask spirit to give you a personal message, and we're going to do a healing. Okay. If you're in a place where you can get in a comfortable position and close your eyes, please do so. If you're driving or unable to relax at this moment, please come back to this portion of the video, okay? We're going to take 3 deep breaths together. We're going to inhale through our noses and we're going to exhale through our mouths. Ready? Inhale. Hold it for about 3 seconds. Now exhale through your mouth. Again, inhale through your nose. Hold it. Now exhale through your mouth. One more time. Inhale, deep breath through your nose. Hold it. Now exhale through your mouth. And just continue to breathe deeply. Concentrate on your breathing throughout this healing, okay? Okay, we're going to start by clearing any toxic, destructive energies that are ready to be released. And we're going to replace those old energies with new high vibrating energy. So we're going to start with releasing any sexual trauma that we may have experienced in this lifetime or any other lifetime. Any emotional trauma. We're releasing abuse and misuse of authority. Anywhere where our innocence, our purity was misused, abused, perverted, or violated, let's release the emotional trauma and pain associated with that now. And just breathe deeply. Throughout this healing, some of you may feel certain sensations in your body, such as tingling in your chest or in your stomach, or you may feel a burning in your throat, or whatever you feel. It's perfectly normal when you're getting energy clearings. and healings. And you can place your hand in that place, or just bring your attention to that place as you exhale. And you should notice that feeling towards the end of that healing will either go away completely or it will be less intense. And if you feel a bit emotional, it's perfectly okay and normal. Crying is a form of releasing, and it's cleansing and very healing. Allow yourself to feel those emotions so that they can be released and healed. Okay? So let's release and clear any emotional trauma caused by abandonment, rejection, neglect. Let's release that now. Let's release and clear all feelings of unworthiness and being unlovable or unimportant. Anywhere in our childhood where we felt like a burden or an obligation or a curse, let's clear that now. Anywhere where you felt unsafe and afraid and alone, let's clear and release that now. Let's clear any beliefs or thought patterns that cause us to suffer in silence or suppress our true nature. We're going to release that. Just continue to breathe deeply. Let's clear and release all fear around trusting ourselves, believing in our own power. Let's clear and release feelings of powerlessness. You are a powerful being. You are worthy of love. You are worthy of authentic love, divine love. You are worthy of consistent love. You deserve it. You deserve to feel safe. You deserve to feel valued. You deserve to feel cherished. Let's clear and release anything that is a block to our wholeness, to our freedom. Let's clear and release all beliefs that constricts and restricts our authentic expression, our creative expression. We're going to release that now. We're going to release all beliefs and thought patterns that forces us into a box. I'm asking Spirit to bring those things to our awareness right now so we can release it. Now, we invite in and we welcome peace. We invite in and we welcome clarity. We invite in and we welcome insight. We welcome and invite in inspiration and empowerment. We invite in freedom and truth. The truth concerning who we are. We are powerful beings. We are reflections of God. We are powerful creators. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are important. We are worthy. We are lovable and capable of authentic love. We are open to divine restoration. Everything that was taken from us in our childhood, we call it back now. We call back our power. We call back our innocence. We call back our purity. We call back our creative expression. We are open to divine guidance and healing, and we claim it. It is our birthright. Anywhere where our inner child is suffering or feeling unheard or neglected, we acknowledge it, and we send love. We send peace. We speak blessings to him, to her. We speak life. We speak divine power. We speak divine healing. We speak divine restoration. We call back our light. We call back our joy. We call back our playfulness. We call back our divine love. We call back all of our spiritual wealth. We claim it. It is our birthright. And so it is. We receive this healing with ease and grace. continue to breathe deep and relax for a few more moments if you need to. Be sure to drink plenty of water today and throughout the week. Staying hydrated helps us to clear those old stagnant energies that no longer serve our highest good. Also, you may notice this week that moments from your childhood are being brought to your remembrance. Some may be unpleasant. Just know that you're being shown in order for you to release those things. So just simply say, I release this energy. I release the energy of that experience. And if the memory is pleasant, Spirit is reminding you of who you truly are. So welcome it. Welcome it by saying, I invite and welcome this experience, this high vibrating experience, back into my physical reality. Please feel free to leave a comment. I would love to hear about your experience. And I send you all so much love. And thank you for watching.